Hi, in this video we're gonna show you how to make stray cat shelter. If you're interested in helping your neighborhood cats, here are some tips to keep in mind. Build your feral cats homes that stay dry and accessible in any weather. If your area gets a lot of snow or rain, build the houses on stilts so the doors don't get buried by heavy snowfall and water doesn't get in during summer rains. Include 2 entrances in your cat houses. Cats need an easy escape route so that predators and bully cats can't easily trap them in their homes. Make sure your cat's houses are accessible to you. Build your feral cat houses so you can easily get in and clean them every year, or to help an injured cat if you need to. Make any repairs and change the straw before it gets cold. Few cats like change, so give your cats time to acclimate to the new smells before winter hits. Give your cats access to fresh water, a rare commodity in low temperatures. From $20 to $30 allows for unfrozen water all winter long. Feral cats often go unnoticed and uncared for in neighborhoods and industrial areas, allowing them to increase wildly in numbers, which can lead to complaints and drastic actions. Practicing TNR and maintaining a well-cared-for colony will keep the cats as happy and healthy as possible. Ensuring they are not creating more cats will keep your neighborhood happy too. So, let's get into how to make the shelters. To build them you need plastic tote, 3/4 inch Durafilm sheet, 4 feet by 8 feet, duct tape, Gorilla tape, measuring tape, X-Acto knife, Sharpie pen, jigsaw circular saw, 6 diameter black tubing. Building a winter shelter for your outdoor cats can be both simple and inexpensive. 2 of the more popular styles are styrofoam bins, such as used to ship perishable food and medical supplies. Plastic storage bins with removable lids, such as Rubbermaid bins. When constructing a shelter, here are a few basic ideas to keep in mind. All good shelter designs share 2 qualities. Strong insulation needed to trap body heat, which turns the cats into little radiators. Use straw, not hay or blankets. Minimal airspace. A smaller interior area means that less heat is needed to keep the occupants warm. Shelter size is very important. Smaller shelters can be heated by only 1 or 2 cats. Larger shelters with only 1 or 2 cats inside will remain cold. 2 smaller shelters are better than 1 large one. Don't underestimate the number of cats in your area. You may only see 1 or 2, but there are probably more. Try to provide more shelter space than you can imagine needing. The placement of shelters is important in keeping cats safe from predators. If dogs are a threat, place your shelter behind a fence where the dogs can't get in. Have the entrance face a wall so only cats can get in and out. All shelters and feeding stations should be out of sight, no matter how friendly the area may appear. Don't place the shelter directly on the cold ground. Use 2x4s or other materials to raise it off the ground and place straw underneath. This makes it easier for the cats to warm the inside with their body heat. Make the door as small as possible. Cats need an opening of only about 5.5 or 6 inches in diameter, or the width of their whiskers. A small door discourages larger, bolder animals, such as raccoons, from entering. A smaller opening keeps in more heat. If there is a need for an escape door, do not cut holes directly across from each other, as this creates a draft. Locate the door several inches above the ground level. Rain won't splash up through an above the ground door. Snow is less likely to trap the cats by blocking an above the ground door. Creating extra protection. An awning that covers the opening, made from roll plastic or heavy plastic garbage bags, provides more insulation, helps keep the rain and wind from entering the shelter, and makes the cats feel safer. Only insulating materials which the cats can burrow into should be used. Blankets, towels, flat newspapers, etc. retain wetness and should not be used. They absorb body heat and will actually make the cat colder. Straw is a good insulating material to use. Straw is better than hay because it can absorb more moisture and is less prone to mold or rot. Insulation materials should only be used if the shelter can be periodically checked to see if they have gotten damp or too dirty and need to be replaced. Additionally, don't place water bowls inside the shelter because they may get turned over. One of our favorite designs uses 2 storage bins with removable lids. An earth tone bin blends in best with the environment, making it aesthetically pleasing to you and your neighbors, and more natural in appearance to the cat. To assemble, cut a doorway 6 inches by 6 inches in one of the long sides of the bin towards the corner. Cut the opening so that the bottom of the doorway is several inches above the ground to prevent flooding. Line the floor of the bin with a piece of styrofoam, using the yardstick and box cutter to cut the piece. It doesn't have to be an exact fit, but the closer the better. In a similar fashion, line each of the 4 interior walls of the bin with a piece of the styrofoam. Again, perfect cuts are not necessary. Leave a gap of 3 inches between the top of these styrofoam wall pieces and the upper lip of the bin. Cut out a doorway in the styrofoam interior wall where the doorway has already been cut out in the storage bin. Measure the length and width of the interior space and place a second, smaller size bin into the open interior. This bin should fit as snugly as possible against the styrofoam wall pieces. Cut a doorway into this bin where the doorways have been cut into the styrofoam and outer bin. Stuff the bottom of the interior bin with straw or other insulating material, no blankets or towels. To provide both insulation and a comfortable spot to lie down, cut out a styrofoam roof to rest on top of the styrofoam wall pieces. Cover the bin with its lid. This shelter is easy to clean by taking off the lid and the roof. It is lightweight and may need to be weighed down. A flap over the doorway is optional. Placement. Where and how you place your shelters could go a long way towards encouraging your feline wards to use them. For starters, put the shelters where the cats are already used to going, like near their feeding station or in an area you know they like to hang out. Putting them near the feeding station has the advantage of limiting how far the cats have to travel to eat during snow or other inclement weather. Don't put the shelters out in the open, like in the middle of a yard or lot, but under or against something, like a building, fence, tree, porch, bush or some type of overhang. Ideally, the spot will be out of the wind but exposed to the sun. To prevent flooding, raise the shelters off the ground by placing them on pallets or bricks. If you do this, make sure the shelters are stable and not wobbly when raised. An unsteady shelter could discourage cats from entering. If your shelters are lightweight, such as those made from styrofoam, place bricks or other heavy objects on the roofs to weigh them down. You can also camouflage the shelters with burlap, branches or twigs, and, if the surfaces allow, by painting them with an exterior deck paint to blend in with their surroundings. Encourage your cats to start using the shelters by sprinkling catnip at the entrances. Remember that straw and hay, which is used for animal feed, are not the same thing. Hay should never be used as insulating material because, unlike straw, it draws and holds moisture. As a result, it can become moldy and cause allergic reactions, including nasal sores. Straw can be found at most large garden centers, such as Home Depot and Lowe's. Craft stores like Michael's and A.C. Moore sell small bales to be used as decoration. Another option is to seek out stores, restaurants or banquet halls whose full displays use bales of straw. Instead of throwing it away after Thanksgiving, like they usually do, perhaps they'll donate it to you. A creative option, stuff a pillowcase with packing peanuts. When a cat lies on it, the peanuts will conform to her shape and wrap her in warmth, capturing insulation. Note that packing peanuts used to always be made from styrofoam but are now increasingly made from starch, which dissolves in water. To prevent the peanuts from getting wet and melting away, place and tie them into a plastic bag, then put the bag inside the pillowcase. In far north regions where extreme cold is often the norm during the winter, shelters can be made warmer by lining the interior walls, floor and ceiling with mylar blankets. Mylar is a thin polyester material that traps body heat and reflects it back to its source. The most common use of mylar blankets is in winter survival kits. Wrapping one around yourself can keep you warm in frigid conditions. They're very inexpensive, usually no more than $1 or $2 each, and can be found at a variety of merchants on Amazon. They can be cut to fit interior shelter walls, then attached with non-toxic glue, such as Weldbond Universal Adhesive or freezer tape. Search Amazon to find Weldbond glue. Be sure to tuck in any loose material at the seams so the cats won't be tempted to pull or chew at it. Putting a cover or flap over the doorway of your shelter will help keep cold air out and warm air in. A piece of heavy vinyl or rubber, like a car's floor mat, will work. The material has to be thick enough to provide some insulation, but light enough for the cats to easily pull or push it open. How the flap is attached will depend on the type of material the shelter is made of. With styrofoam, drill 2 holes through the mat and above the doorway, and insert plastic nuts and bolts, like the kind used to attach toilet seats to toilets. With storage bins, again drill 2 holes and use any suitably sized nuts and bolts. Or, at least temporarily, you can use duct tape to attach the flap. Do not attach a flap door, however, until after the cats have gotten used to going in and out of the shelter. Otherwise, it might deter them from going in and exploring. Hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.